Tag nabbit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bags, the podcast for below average golfers by two below average golfers. My name is Owen Smith, and as always, I am joined by Caleb Wallen. And Caleb, we have a special guest tonight, something that I found on Instagram that I am very much looking forward to the launch of. We have Ben from Kid Caddie Golf. Ben, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we been fans of what we've seen so far. We were talking before we started recording. We both have just one over one and one about to turn one. So we're both first time dads and both really into golf, as you can imagine, having a golf podcast, and have neither have been brave enough to take out the kids to the course yet. So looking forward to finding ways that we can do that, encourage the wives to join us, since we're of course big golf fans and wanting to make golf a big part of our families as we grow those. And we came across the Instagram page and found Kid Caddie Golf. So for those that aren't aware of Kid Caddie Golf, give us kind of a breakdown of what this is.
Yeah, so Kid Caddie Golf is a company built around our flagship product, which is a golf club carrier that connects onto a stroller. So it's going to help you basically take everything from your golf bag, attach right on the stroller. Quick and easy way to bring. It's got 18 club spots, 7 balls, tees, ball markers, and a whole line of accessories that you attach to the side. Everything from cup holder to ball cleaning tools. Really just kind of replaces that whole bag or golf cart experience, and lets you get out and spend one-on-one time with your kid on the course.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you haven't seen pictures of it, we'll share some, and you can always find pictures and demonstrations on the social medias. It's at Golf Stroller, correct?
Yep, Instagram at Golf Stroller.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. But I have to start this with a story, because I reached out to you because, again, we're very interested in what this is. But then that same day, I went out to the golf course, and you can't make this stuff up. I saw a guy carrying his bag and pushing a stroller, walking 9 holes. And I was like, I eventually caught up to him, and I'm like, hey, just letting you know, there's this thing out there. I'm hoping to talk to this guy soon. There's this thing called the Kid Caddie stroller attachment. You need to check it out. So already spreading the good word of Kid Caddie, and again, I think I told you over DMs. Can't wait to get my hands on it. But I guess we'll start from the beginning. Where did you get this idea from, and how did it originate?
Yeah, so I've got 2 kids. I've got a 4-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son. And that first summer, I would try to golf, pretty regularly. And, that was kind of that time away. And when my daughter was born, I spent that first summer like struggling to get out, golf like just a handful of times. And when you do, you kind of feel that anxiety and guilt of leaving your spouse with your kids so you can go do something for you. And so I started searching for a product like this, and try to be just, you get to that mindset right when you have kids. It's like, all right, I'm still going to go out and do the same things. I'm going to include my kids and all the things that you do. And so I wanted to find a way if I didn't want to be the guy pushing a push cart and pushing a stroller at the same time, or carrying the bag, and looked for something like this. It didn't exist. And so just kind of set out to see if I could make it. And from there, spent that first summer. And so my daughter's been on the golf course since she was 6 months old. That's when we did our first prototype, and we're on version we did about 5 or 6 versions that were like different materials, and then set in on 3D printing, and we're on version over 20 now, just in terms of like all the different iterations. And being from Minnesota, I've got like 6 months of summer golf to try and like it over. So you'll see in my content, if you go back on our Instagram page, or you'll watch my daughter grow up on the golf course, which has actually been the coolest part of what Kid Caddie provides, is an opportunity to see your kids immersed in the sport grow up on the golf course. And we just continued to build the product and develop it. And then in the summer of 2022, kind of moved out of, just local testing and got it out onto social media and just kind of watched things explode from there. It's been very cool to see how many people around the world. We've got interest in all 50 states and like 31 countries now. So it's been just kind of global on the reach of golf, the interest of families in making it a family activity. And that's kind of been the foundation of it. Starts with just the activity of a parent wanting to stay out and stay active in golf. And it transitions into, all right, well, now my kid's out here with me. They love being on the golf course. Now, how do I get them into the sport? And that's the very cool part about golf courses is, well, now it's a perfect feeder into their youth program. And your spouse, like my spouse didn't really play golf when I started working on this product. And it's been an amazing way to get her exposure into the game, because first off, she would come out and she would push the stroller. She would just enjoy the nice day, and there's no more beautiful place to be than a golf course. Yeah. And from there we'd start sneaking a few women's clubs in there. I was like, yeah, just hit a couple. And then so I got fingers crossed we're gonna have some family golf trips in the future. Like that's the goal.
Nice.
Yeah, that's we've used the same strategy. Now we started pushing it before the kids came around on our end, but yeah, I think now that we can use something like this and get them out, yeah, definitely hoping for more family engagement out there. But you mentioned you're on like version 20. How different did version 1 look like than kind of what version you're at now?
Yeah, that was just kind of a mindset shift on what it was like to be a parent, like right away, and what your expectations were, and then just my evolution as a parent and as like trying this on the course. So version 1 was like, all right, it's got to be compact. It's got to be able to fold up and go in your bag. And going through that testing, it's like, well, it made sense, but also like then you have the weight distribution, you have like the clubs moving, you need something sturdy. And so durability was a real challenge with that. And then, but the part that kind of dawned on me is like, you have so much crap as a parent. It's like, I'm bringing a stroller, I'm bringing a diaper bag, I'm bringing my clubs, I'm bringing like 15 snacks. Like having like the Kid Caddie is, a foot wide by like a foot and a half tall. It's not that big of a deal to throw that in with the stroller with your golf bag. And so I kind of came to terms with, this is solving a problem, and it's worth kind of having that space in your garage to keep it. And then when you go out and golf, it's like the thing that made me commit to this is like, all right, I have to make this bigger for more people, was that like first successful round with like this style of Kid Caddie. It's like, all right, I'm walking down, everything's got its place. You got all your club slots, everything's in its place. You got that, like that OCD is nice and satisfied. Yeah. You've got all the, like everything you need there. The pace of play is faster than playing with a bag, because you're not setting it down, picking it back up. You just pull your club, play, and throw it back in. And to be able to give like high fives to my kid after like little shots, it was just such a red letter day, just kind of like an epiphany of, this is incredible. Like more people need to experience this. And that's kind of what has been fueling the rest of those 20 versions and the 4-year journey that I've been on to eventually bringing the product to market this spring.
Yeah, so having that dream or whatever, do you have like any kind of like engineering background, or was it just literally, hey, this is the need that that people don't have, and I'm going to create it?
That's a fantastic question, and I don't have a background in product development. I'm a software engineer, so building the website and doing the social media marketing and things like that, that's the stuff that I had a background in, is to get the word out. But in terms of creating the product, probably why it took me 4 years, because it was it was a labor of love, and one that took a lot of time. I actually traded a website for my first 3D printer. I had no idea how to run it. I've traded web services I've got a family member who's a mechanical engineer, so he helped with some of the initial drawings while I got my skills up to try and make some of the accessories and things like that. And then I've since scaled up from just doing things in the shop, taking 20 hours to make one, to now I've got a whole 3D printing studio of 7 printers that I'm running in my house. I've got a small team that we converted my shop at my home into just kind of an assembly studio where we'll prep and assemble all the parts. And what that's allowed us to do is this last year has been about, testing the market, getting people's feedback, making sure that we're building the right product and that it resonates with people. And so we've got over 100 throughout the United States. We've got them in 3 different countries, and it's been really cool to hear that people are interested everywhere. They've had success using these on their home courses, and it's just been kind of validating to combine that with the social media success we've had.
Yeah, this I feel like this thing is going to catch fire real quick. I mean, I know you've already
Real quick.
seen a taste of success with the social media, but as soon as this gets out to the courses more and more, those dads that want to get out to the course, or those moms that want to get out to the course more, are definitely going to be loading up the website pretty quick. So yeah, so you've put this out to the market. You went to the PGA show and the Minnesota golf show. What's the overall reaction been outside of social media?
Yeah, and that's kind of a daunting experience, and also a really rewarding one. Is people in the comments is one thing, but actually talking face to face with people about your idea, kind of going out there without armor on, is definitely interesting. And the PGA show was really, really cool. And so that was the first event that we did. And they have 2 different avenues that we partook in. So one is the Inventor Spotlight. So that's companies that are innovating in the golf industry that they want to kind of highlight in their up and coming area. And so we got invited to be one of those companies. And then the other area was the new product zone. So there was 110 companies that debuted new products, and not all of those are like inventor companies. They're established companies that are releasing new products. And so the biggest validation and one of the huge highlights for the company was in that new product zone, we finished 4th out of 110 companies, and that was voted on by the PGA members in attendance. So it's people that are invested in the game, course owners, club pros, and people that saw the value in the growth of the game that this could bring. Was really validating. And I would make friends, because I would walk over and check out the new product zone, and so you'd see kind of people standing there checking it out, and you'd be a fly on the wall and just listen to what they had to say. But talking to some of the staff that was running the event, they just said like it was a smash. 25% of the people that would walk into the new product zone would stop and they'd take pictures and they'd send it to their friend. And that's the cool thing about this product, is that even though there's 20, 30 million people that are golfing in the United States. I think it's actually well more than that, but not everybody is going to fall into this demographic of a kid age 0 to 4, but everyone is probably going to know somebody that is having a kid. So you've got the friend that you don't want to disappear off the course, because they're fun to have out there with you. So this is the perfect baby shower gift for them. This is that spouse looking for a Father's Day present for for their husband. So they get it's kind of a selfish gift for some people. It's like, all right, you take them, you play as much golf as you want to. I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 hours to do me, and so everybody wins.
Yeah, no, that's a major win-win. I didn't even think about that aspect, where it's like, yeah, hey, I'll take the baby, and then that the wife gets to take care of whatever she wants to, and win-win there. That's awesome.
That's been one of the social media comments that I've like reacted to the most. Is so fun. Is like, wives will tag their husbands. It's like, you can play as much golf as you want if you get this. And I was like, that's to get that notarized. That is the deal of a lifetime right there.
Right. No kidding.
Yeah. So with that success that you've seen like on social media about, growing your product, have you ever thought about trying to go on like Shark Tank or something, to where like the common people in golf, can see it, as opposed to just like the professionals or like people that are, really involved with golf?
Yeah, I think it'd be very cool to find opportunities to get national exposure like that. With it being such a bootstrap product from the ground up, I've been able to kind of invest and include my family into the opportunities to kind of build the product. And so to bring on investors like that, so it's kind of looking at it in 2 lenses. One is like the investment side of things and trading equity in the company for someone that can help it grow, and the other part is the exposure. The exposure part is fantastic, and then I just would need to figure out finding the right partners, and there's definitely sharks in there that have the influence to make this go huge. And so it's finding that right partner to help it grow and utilize their resources, because this is like product launch and global distribution, things like that are areas that take a lot of ramp up, and you make the right partners that have the right connections, it can reduce that stress quite a bit.
Yeah, if you make a crimson one, you could probably get Mark Cuban on pretty quick.
Yeah.
There we
Throw
go.
an IU logo on there.
Dude, that's a good tip. I like it.
Yeah, that or you get Lori to put it all over QVC, and that'll really get the wives fired up. So that'd be good. But I mean, clearly the big thing and the big focus right now is the stroller attachment. Do you foresee this being much more than that, or do you think this will be kind of the main driver in your mind?
Yeah, and that's actually a fun question, just because I've spent so many years kind of thinking about what this is and what it could become. Is that the cool thing about the product is, and a lot of people don't have this distinction right away, is that it is just the attachment that goes on any stroller. And so regardless of what stroller you have at home, it's going to fit 90% of them or above. And then it goes from a single stroller to double stroller. So I think there's opportunities to work with manufacturing companies like that to both add it as an attachment or a product that they can have, but also work with golf courses in a way that, all right, you can rent a golf cart, you can rent a pull cart. Let's find opportunities to set up courses to encourage that family inclusion by having things like this. We've already started setting up some companies in the Midwest and also Canada with Kid Caddies on the course, so they can,
Nice.
kind of grow that family inclusion, that family environment. And that's how courses are really going to build lifelong customers. I mean, golf's a sport that you can play for 75 years. If you can start a family on this is their home course, the potential of them becoming members is going to go way up. The potential of them getting involved in the youth programs. And then in terms from, so growing that exposure, growing the adoption of this as part of the game is a big driver for what I see in the future. The other side is, just continuing to expand on the offers that this has. And so that's going to be from the product side, it's like the different accessories, the different things that can enhance the experience of it. But then, and this is partly just because of where I'm at with my life and me being a parent, is working on helping families get their kids through each of those individual stages into playing golf independently. And so I'm a coach. I've been a youth coach for lacrosse for the last 10, 15 years. And so coach typically at the varsity level, but this Kid Caddy has kind of taken over that time. And so I'm actually looking to reinvest that into more of the youth program age. And so I've gotten connected with some golf club manufacturers for youth ages, and they have kind of training and coaching programs. So I want to work with my kids specifically, but also the content we create and the courses that we play on helping come up with ways that, all right, from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, like what are the things that we can just include the kids in the game as they get ready to start making that next step.
Yeah, well, you are growing the game. This is the definition of growing the game. I think there's a lot of products that are out there in the golf market, and I think this one's 100% going to stand out and is going to encourage not only moms and dads to get out to the course more, but also, I mean, like you mentioned earlier on, like I've seen some of the clips of your daughter and things on Instagram, and just like how they can get involved, even if they're not swinging the club. Like I think you had like the golf ball retriever is your daughter, and so I think this is going to be really good for a lot of families, and as that also grows into the different stages of the youth programs, and it would definitely, something like this is definitely going to encourage families to join clubs and get their family more involved into all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so much of golf is, it's not the technical side of things. So like when kids start getting into those youth programs, it's all right, learn how to hold the club, learn how to swing, and then you start building on those foundations to become a good or below average golfer, whatever that goal is by the end. But those early on, like you don't need to be able to like hit the ball well. You just need to be included in the game, and the camaraderie is well over 50% of it. And that's something that you can do from age 0 to till forever, is you can start including them in the joys of being on the golf course by being with the people that you enjoy, being outside, enjoying the day on like a beautiful course. And then, you stop and get a beer and a soda and, ice cream after. It's just about creating those memories on the golf course and those one-on-one opportunities. And, that's the core values that I'm trying to build Kid Caddie on, just because like I absolutely love being a parent. It's really fulfilling. And this product is an opportunity for me to kind of scratch some of those other like itches and interests that I have while helping, solving a problem in my own life, but also helping a lot of other families get into that space and spend that quality time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you had anybody that like told you like, hey, this is never going to work, and then you're like looking at them today like, hey, you're probably going to buy like 3 of these. You sure you want to keep that mentality like of what you had before?
So the biggest pushback has come from, two different perspectives. One is, do the kids that are young like that belong on the golf course? And there are people that are like the good old boys and, stay off my lawn. It's not a place for families. I don't want to hear
old
baby. Yeah, I don't want to hear baby crying in my backswing. And like, you're not going to hear somebody from a fairway over. And families are going to be focused on playing with people like, and this kind of goes back to the benefits of to the golf course again, is these people are going to try and play at slow times. They're going to play courses that they know and they're loyal to. They're going to play with groups of people that support their family values. And so all those pieces are going to enhance the experience for the parent and the kid, but also reduce the impact to others trying to enjoy the game, because they deserve the joy. They enjoy the game as well. And we're not trying to take that away. We're just trying to make the sport more inclusive and entered into for other people. And so that's kind of been one pushback. And then the other pushback is just, the safety element of it. There's golf balls around there. I've personally played over 40 rounds with my kids, and I feel very comfortable on the golf course. The jogging strollers have a canopy that are going to cover their head and 80% of their body. I'll also be offering it's a bug net, so adds additional protection. It's not made to stop golf balls, and I'm not going to say that it is, but it is going to be an additional layer between like you and anything else that's out there. But it really comes down to just being aware of where other golfers are at on the course, facing the stroller the opposite way. And, from there, it's more so just about, keeping them moving, keeping them happy. And that's the kind of content that I'm going to continue making is helping families be out there and have it be a successful round. And I think that's just going to add to the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were thinking about putting like a cage on there, but I didn't know how to word it exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said it's like a bug net, because that made me feel better than, because, below average golfers, our balls are flying everywhere. So I would hate to have somebody catch a stray, but if they're somewhat protected, then that's definitely going to help.
Yeah, exactly. And there are risks with everything, and that's where playing courses that and you're comfortable with, and just trying to keep them in safe like situations. And I'm trying to just create the opportunity for people to go out and play together. I unfortunately don't have a lot of influence over like where and how they play, so it's just kind of up to each family to know that they're putting their like themselves and their families in the best position to be out there and enjoy the time.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is if you're in the group A that's complained about it, like you can go ahead and turn off the Bags podcast. If you're in group B, yeah, maybe just get some self-awareness and make sure you're paying attention, because you also could be hit by a golf ball if you're not self-aware. So, I think that both of those groups can figure out how to go about that. But I think what you have is great. And again, I think can't wait to get our hands on it here personally. Before we talk about the launch and everything, we've talked a lot about the product and the company and all of that, but we haven't talked about your golf game. Are you a below average golfer, or are you an above average golfer?
I would probably classify myself as probably below with aspirations of being above.
Okay.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Right. But I think you're going to see like 5 handicaps still say that about themselves, because that's the thing about golf, is that you're I mean, to be satisfied is to, you know, to not want more. And I don't know, I always want to be a better golfer. It's just a matter of, you know, you got to dedicate the time to it. It doesn't come for free. And I've been playing my whole life, and, you know, I'm still not a scratch golfer. So you got to put more into it than I'm putting in.
Yeah. Well, I'm a 20 handicap, and Caleb's a 10 handicap. So sounds like you maybe fall somewhere in that range based on your answer. Am I correct?
Yeah. So last year, I think I ended the year at a 12.
Okay.
I had it nearing, I was under an 11 for a little bit there, but that kind of ebbs and flows.
Nice. Well, you've been busy putting together the product, so we'll cut you some slack there. And
Yeah.
once this thing catches more fire, you'll have all the golf coaches signing up to give you lessons and all of that. So
There we go.
and definitely, yeah, look into virtual coaching. That's what we've been doing. We're trying to get better, so we'll see.
That's cool.
Cool. Well, I know that right now, if you go to kidcaddiegolf.com, you can enter your information to kind of get informed on the launch. What can you tell us about the kind of the launch plans for the stroller attachment?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of where we've been until today is, so coming into the website, you can sign up for our mailing list. And what that essentially is just the gateway into being able to buy the limited releases and get access to the pre-orders. And so we've been previously doing limited release drop like every month or so, where we would drop, you know, 20 products or in that range. And they would get pretty snatched up pretty quick. So I wanted those to be exclusive to people that are kind of signed up and on the journey with us. That is quickly transitioning into getting ready to do pre-orders for the first production run. So that timeline looks like likely at the end of March, beginning of April, we will be opening up the website for pre-orders that will allow people to come in, basically purchase their Kid Caddie and be part of our initial production run. And so when I talk about production run, we've gone from, I mentioned earlier in the show about kind of 3D printing and kind of having the in-home manufacturing setup. The amount of interest that we've received on the product, I basically move that into an injection mold is going to be our next step of manufacturing. And so with that, we're going to be able to scale large enough to meet demand and kind of open these up to anyone. And that timeline is in May, is when those first orders are going to be coming out. So tried to time it out pretty well for, you know, the arrival of spring in the United States. And I know, like, we've got I was talking to a guy in Australia today who it's like, yeah, we're kind of in the prime right now, so they're itching to get their hands on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll line up pretty well for us. We're both here in Indiana, so
Perfect.
we've gotten some golf weather, but then it drops down to 40 degrees really quick. So it'll line up pretty good for us. But yeah, definitely go check it out. Go to kidcaddiegolf.com. Right now, yeah, you can enter all your information to get, you know, set up with that. Be ready for those pre-orders, and then keep up with the. You're on Instagram is where I've seen you primarily. You're on Twitter and Facebook as well, or where else are you?
Yeah, I'm on so Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. You can find me there as Kid Caddie. And then so I am a little bit less active on those, mainly because I manage all my social media stuff in-house as kind of a creative outlet for it. And I'm very active. Like, so if you're sending me messages, I'm responding. So we kind of have the communication. And because I'm so focused on the product launch, I'm not trying to spread myself too thin on the social media side. That will definitely grow once the product is out there and we have kind of opportunity to build more of a team. So if anyone out there is looking to get invested in some social media management, give me a shout.
There you go. There you go. Well, Ben, we appreciate you joining us and looking forward to getting our hands on this and spreading the good word of Kid Caddie Golf. Any final words for the Bags listeners?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. You know, I'm pumped about, you know, the opportunity to bring this product out, get families invested in golf, and for anyone feeling like it's, you know, it's a big leap to get that, you know, that first round out there with your kid, because that and I went through the same thing of it is kind of some effort, that mental hurdle to get there. Once you're there, it's outstanding, and you build up to it. So don't go into it with the expectation that like everything's going to be amazing. A day with golf is better than a day without golf. So build up on it. And, you know, of those 40 rounds that I've played, there's only been a couple of them that I haven't finished, and just lots of snacks, you know, involve them in the game, lots of high fives, and it'll go great.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Again, kidcaddiegolf.com, @golf stroller on Instagram, and keep up with everything. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you guys.